Welcome to Checkin With The Bois.
A couple of Christian guys trying to figure it out.
On this episode, we talk about complimenting random girls' looks,
Who should pay for the date?
pet names,
Hygiene.
all that and much more.
The boys share their thoughts.
Checkin With The Bois.
Okay, let's just jump.
Okay,
on
the
actual
dating topics?
questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to
We got a bunch of them.
Dude, y'all, you guys have had some hot
okay.
takes.
Opinions
We're
on...
cooling off this episode.
The audience was crazy.
Guys has to protect his reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the question. Opinions on complimenting random girls' looks. So, say you're not in a dating relationship. Are you allowed to tell a girl that she looks nice?
Heck yeah.
But define the girl.
Define the girl.
Like-
Obviously, age appropriate. You would be able to date her.
But for example,
For example, light-skinned girl, curly hair, blue blouse,
no,
black jeans. She
Blue
got some.
blouse.
no,
She got some. She got some Jordans on. She's sitting in church. What are you saying to her?
Nothing.
What?
Hello,
Nas,
I
what
like
you
your
saying?
something, whatever.
No,
it's too friendly. Jesse, go first.
Nah. Nas, what are you saying to her?
It depends.
What are you gonna say to her?
I'll just answer his question directly. Yes, I
For
think it's
example,
okay to
I always
say.
compliment the cashier.
Huh?
I always compliment the cashier. for
That she
example.
looks good?
I mean, like, it depends.
Wait, so
But,
Adam,
like,
you're
if I'm
saying
like doing a small talk and I'm like, how's your day or whatever, and like, oh, I like your hair or whatever. I don't know. Or like, oh, that jacket's so cool. I would say something like that.
Dang. I think that's too risky. In
Wait,
my
so-
For the
opinion.
cashier?
too risky. What's the risk?
For the cashier? Yeah, I guess.
This is gonna fall in love with me
Yes.
in that moment?
Possibly.
Well, hopefully then.
That's JC's type is cashiers.
I feel like you can compliment a woman
Huh?
on her looks. Yes.
You think?
Yeah. 100%.
What do you think, Al?
I feel like you can compliment a female friend, like an acquaintance, and say, "Hey,
Right.
you look good today,"
Dang.
and not be,
I think that should be
Sexual.
reserved only if you're dating the person.
well, you're
Mm.
stupid. I can say that on,
Because-
on air
because-
right now. You are stupid.
I'll defend it.
Wait.
Because I think it's misleading if you compliment a girl's looks that you don't actually intend to date. And actually, I would make sure that I would let the girl know that I was interested in her and wanting to date her. And then I think you would be able to compliment her looks. Just again, to avoid confusion.
Are you being
Wait,
serious?
so what
Confusion.
scenario?
Yes, I'm being
So
dead
what
serious.
scenario? What way are you saying it that she's gonna
I'm
take
doing a
it?
bit right
Like,
now.
oh,
No,
this
I'm
guy.
not. This is dead serious.
So like,
This
play out,
isn't crazy.
play out the scenario in your head. Like, what are you actually saying to this woman that you feel like is gonna be wrong?
What, as far as complimenting her looks?
Yeah. Like, what specific compliment?
Just you look nice, I think is too far.
You look nice is too
You look
far.
nice.
Nice is cool.
Certainly you look pretty is way too far.
Oh my gosh.
Or I like that dress way
Nah,
too far.
nah, see, the
now
way
I'd
you
say
said
all
it,
those things
You can't
things
say
would be
that dress. Like,
yeah.
I like your dress.
I like
your
I like the
dress.
dress.
Very
Like,
specifically, your dress.
oh, you got a
Or
nice
like
sweater on. You
that
can't say you
dress-
got a nice sweater
What
on.
about that dress looks
Or you
so
can't say
good
like, oh,
on
I like
you.
your fit.
No.
You can't say that.
Or like your shoes.
It's too
Or
like sexualized. Like after that, she's just gonna.
No. So I would say that it just again, I think it just is confusing. I think it's too confusing because the girl's gonna be like, "Why is he saying that? What
Why?
are his
Okay, so let
intentions?"
me stop it right
Could
there.
be, could
Why
be.
are you preemptively already
Yeah.
getting a
Yeah.
response for the female? You're a dude. You're the furthest thing from a girl.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Why are you preemptively thinking what she's gonna say?
You have no idea what's going
No
on.
idea
Yeah,
what
no
goes
idea.
on in a woman's mind.
No, that's-
obviously.
yes. Does anybody?
I think
Do any of us?
Wait.
No.
I think Adam is always thinking that girls are into him.
That's
No,
what it sounds
it's
like.
not.
It's like,
That's
that's
what
why
it
you're
sounds like.
implying.
No,
That's why
no.
you're implying when I say,
That
oh, if I say something to her,
Maybe not
she's gonna fall in
intentionally,
love
but that's
with
how
me.
it comes off.
Yeah.
that's
That is
like-
definitely not what I'm intending.
Oh.
I just want to be
that's-
as least confusing as possible.
Because
Okay, so
for
let me ask
example-
you a question, Adam. Let me ask you a question. How do you talk to women?
I knew it.
I mean,
That's a great question.
I don't.
Oh, there we
Guys,
go.
the
There
truth
we
comes
go.
out.
There we go. The truth
until
comes
there's
out.
until there's
Until what?
somebody that I would be interested in, then I would start talking to the person.
I see zero effort.
But I
in
certainly
this.
wouldn't start.
see
I wouldn't
zero
start
effort,
the
I agree.
conversation with "you look good" or "you look nice." I don't
That's
think.
crazy.
I just think it's too much.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I think for me, I don't know if. I mean, it hasn't happened very often, but when when women compliment my looks, I'm just like, what the heck is going on here? It's very weird.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like it. I'm like,
What?
what are you?
Oh.
I'm just like, what are you doing?
Out of whack.
I'm
The
just
only
very
man on
suspicious.
earth who doesn't
Nah,
like
right?
compliments.
Nah, right?
Yeah, no,
No, I do. I like compliments from the boys.
So you rather take if a dude comes and you be like, hey, yo, dude, you look good today.
Dude, you know how many?
yo,
So when I
Wanna
have
go on a
crazy,
date?
when I had crazy facial hair, all the different crazy facial hairs, dude, the compliments from the dudes, they're all hyping me up. They're like, yo, love it. I'm like, heck yeah. Received 0 compliments from girls. But if I had,
Because
I would
you
have
look
taken that.
super
In my
weird.
opinion, I would have taken that like, oh, dang, is she into me? Maybe I'm thinking too hard about this.
You're
But
thinking
if you-
way
because
too
I
hard.
think that way, receiving a compliment from a woman, hypothetically,
That's why he has to
I
do
would
it.
not want to do it back.
I can respect that. I can
God.
respect that. Still disagree. I respect it though. I respect it.
That's funny.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it.
All right, next topic.
Next topic. Okay. Let's see here. How often you should see your girlfriend?
I think I have.
Wait, hold on. Let's establish a distance first. How far are you guys apart? Because that plays a
Yeah,
role.
that plays.
I
a
feel like
big
you live in
role.
the same city.
5 hours.
Okay.
Same
Same city. Not
So like
five.
max like 20 minutes.
The majority of the people dating, I would say, live in the same city.
20, 30 minutes.
That's
Yeah.
so not true, but so 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
It's
For the
good
sake,
business. For the sake
for the sake of the question,
For the
you
sake
live
of
20
this
minutes
example,
away.
Mhm.
How long?
In a
Or
perfect
how
world.
much? How much do you see your girlfriend?
What does she do though?
No, this is too specific.
She's a cashier.
Cashier?
No, no, no.
So the hours change.
Doesn't matter.
No, because I feel like that. No, I feel like that matters. Because I feel like
she has a work from 9 to 5.
9 to 5. She's 9
Yeah,
to
both
5.
have 9 to 5
They
jobs.
both got
Yeah.
9 to 5. How often should you see her?
How often should you see her?
And in what setting should you see her too?
I
Good
think
question.
it depends on the stage of the.
Relationship.
Yes, I do feel that it gets at the beginning. Of course, it's like this infatuation part of the relationship with you wanna spend every single moment because you're still like in this like honeymoon
Mm-hmm.
stage, and you just like want to spend like every single moment of the day with this person, like all throughout the week. But honestly, I think that might be.
It's too much.
Yeah, I think
Not
that's like a
sustainable.
privilege to marriage, honestly.
Yeah.
Like being
Ooh.
able to just being with the woman that you love like every single day. That's like something that's reserved
Yeah.
for marriage.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah.
Dang, wise words.
Yeah, those are
Thank you.
unusual from JC. Yeah, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I guess it comes down to the couple, how busy the couple is. But I think you should at least shoot for once a week. I think once a week is pretty doable.
Yeah.
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 In the evening sometime, going on a date, spending that intentional time with the person. And I would also follow that up with, if you're going to see her only once a week, I would make it a point to at least call or something, probably once a day, some sort of check-in,
Mm-hmm.
some sort of text, call.
Yeah, we can.
If you're not seeing her every day.
Yeah.
You got any opinions, Chris? No?
No.
Once a day?
No opinions. I don't know. I feel like it's very specific on to the couple.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there are some people that are, well, like not every day, but they can see each other like more frequently, like 3 times, 4 times, and that's like healthy for them because it's not always too long. It's like a couple, like just like a check-in, or like maybe they're both into like, I don't know, they like meet up at coffee shops and they like they have their 1, 2 in the morning, or maybe they go to the gym together and they hang out afterwards or something like that. So it's like, okay, then
Like
if you're
every
gonna be
day?
at the same, if you're gonna, no, well, not every day, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a week. Like I think especially in dating, you still need your own space to kind of
Yeah.
navigate and like make sure that you're still on track while and she needs to need her own space too. But so yeah, I would say like I would feel like 3 times a week for me would be like the maximum. I would say I agree with Adam. Like at least once a week would be ideal. I feel like once I don't think like skipping weeks is not. I don't think would be fruitful
Yeah.
for your relationship,
Yeah.
especially for a girl. Like, do you not prioritize me? Do you not love me?
Yeah.
If you miss a week, so you gotta make sure you get that.
I think also it's important for both of you to have time for other people than just each other.
Oh yeah.
So, for example, like if you're a dude, you need time with the boys.
yeah.
I just think it's important.
I agree.
And I think it shows a level of maturity too. I think there's a danger if it's just constantly you and your girl
Yeah.
of developing unhealthy bonds or some
Yeah.
sort of dependence. So like I could be dependent on my girlfriend for
Yeah.
like emotional support, or the girl could be dependent on the guy for emotional support. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's important to allow space for you to be dependent on other people for that support.
Amen to all of that.
So friends, family, stuff like that.
I
Balance.
I
That's
concur.
everything in life.
Yeah, I think it's just as the relationship goes on, I think it just sometimes the lines blur, because like, you know, especially if you start dating a girl, you know, 3-6 months into it, now you guys actually start hitting like problems. Like, oh, okay, like I feel like she's not communicating this idea, or he's not doing this when he said he was gonna do this, right? And so like, I think a lot of those times those issues kind of can blur the lines when it comes to like the frequency of seeing each other, because like sometimes it's like, okay, like we might be in a fight or something, but it's easier to just kind of like pretend everything's okay and go out and grab coffee or ice cream or something like that, and then just like drop her off and then act like nothing ever happened. But like, so I also feel like, and like in the same vein, like as a guy, you gotta be intentional with like, I guess consistently like bringing up the issue even though it might not be as convenient for you, like addressing the issue, saying like, hey, like you were angry about this idea of last week, like is that you still feel the same way or something like that. I feel like it's a lot harder to kind of do that, because then you kind of gotta address your feelings and your emotions first, but like once, if you are able to do that, if you have the capacity to do that and you like work towards it, then like it makes the relationship a lot more manageable, because the girl is able to keep her emotions in check, and then you can kind of, so instead of her like kind of maybe throwing those emotions at you and like about a rage or something, now it's like, okay, you gave her the space to like clearly bring those emotions, whatever she's feeling, good, bad, ugly, to you in that moment, and then you guys can maybe work through it then, or at least she can adjust, like, okay, like I'm not ready to talk about it, or you can adjust, like, hey, like whatever happened last time, I'm not ready to talk about that yet, so like can we just like maybe just like set a time, or like can I just have the space so I can process it, and then let's go from there. So that it comes down to that communication aspect, and I think that process kind of works differently for every single couple, and like in their, I guess, in how fast like the intimacy is kind of built. But that's my 2 cents. All right, who should pay for a date?
Who should pay for the date?
Adam Hoy opinion.
Adam Hoy is paying for all of our dates from now on.
All of our,
The man every time. But I used to not think that way. I used to think at the beginning of the relationship, I mean, it's only fair if you go out to eat or you go out anywhere, that the woman pays for her end of things and the dude pays for the end of his things.
That's even worse.
Especially,
You split it.
especially if you
It's
have like a
fair.
bad date.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, it's a decision you make at the end of the date. If it went
End
well,
of
you
the
pay
date.
for it. Not so
Yeah.
well,
That
you
was
make
way
her.
too much.
If it
So
goes
it's like-
horrible, you just each pay for your own.
Dang.
But I don't
Nah.
think that anymore. I don't think that
Yeah.
anymore. I think the dude should pay every time.
Every time.
No
Every
matter
time.
what. Yeah,
Oh.
unless Nas brought up a good point.
Can you remind me?
Unless
said
the girl
unless-
is treating you.
Yeah, unless the girl wants.
Oh yeah. So like if the girl's adamant about paying, like she really wants to, she asked you out on the date, right? And she wants to pay. And I'm like, hey, do your thing.
Go for it.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it's important not to come off as like your ego being hurt. So like if the girl wants to pay, you don't say like, oh no, I'm the man, I should be able to pay for the date.
Yeah.
No, you just let her do her thing.
Yeah.
Now if she's excessively trying to pay for every date, then you have every right to be like, all right, hold on, like I wanna do my thing too. Like this is what I do.
Yeah, I
But-
agree with that. Yeah, I think it goes back to, well, at least from a biblical perspective of the man being the provider. And so it's kind of,
Right.
in my opinion, it's a test of what your marital relationship will work. So it's like, well, I'm going to be the provider. So it's like a test before you get married. It's like, yeah, I'm willing to pay for everything because it's kind of a test before
Mhm.
marriage.
Okay, but like in the olden days, right? Biblical times. What was the woman doing?
Staying at home.
Cooking.
Yeah.
So you should just let her cook.
Ooh,
Pay for
that's
that
a
food.
good point.
What do you mean, not take her out?
No, I'm just
No.
challenging you.
But
Just being
I'm
a-
misunderstanding.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
misunderstand.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand.
He went off the road. We're talking about specifically going
Yeah.
on dates. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think it's good. So like, in my understanding of it, I think that I don't mind. Like if we're going on like a date, something like specifically like a date, or like we're going out to like the zoo or like a special like whatever, like I don't like I usually pay for it, whatever. But I think that like I don't know, there are certain things that are kind of like specifically like where she like the girl should have like reins, like right. So like let's say you guys go out to eat like once a week, but then like another time of the week like you guys decide to cook food, or something like oh let's just come over and like we'll just make food and just hang out. Like I feel like that's well within like the woman's range to like oh just buy a little extra groceries for me and then I won't have to worry about groceries for this week, right? So it's like I think that there's ways for you guys to both be giving into the relationship without both of you paying for like dates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, for sure.
I think, dude, it might depend on where you're at in your life stage too. For example, if you're both poor college students, I think it would be a pretty hard burden for the dude to just be paying for everything.
All right.
So if you're both college students, both not working full time, I think it's important to maybe split a lot more than you would if you're both young working professionals.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Makes sense.
So would you ever get sick or tired of initiating all the dates?
Not at
Like,
all.
doesn't that get exhausting? Like, or maybe you run out of ideas. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I think mostly it's ideal for the man to initiate, going out. But the woman should initiate sometimes as well.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's just more about like being with the person. So you can come up with like all the ideas, but at the end of the day, I feel that you get to a point where you just appreciate being with each other, doing the things that you love to do. For example, I don't know if you guys like picnic and you've done picnic like for a while. It's not gonna be like, oh, we're always do picnic, but no, we love picnics, So it's like our thing now.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it's nice for the women to initiate some date ideas. If I'm running low on ideas or just kind of out of inspiration, I think it can be nice.
Are you gonna like bring up to her like, hey, like I'm running out of ideas?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that'd
that'd be.
nice.
I think that'd be.
Yeah, it's
cool.
like
what should
No,
we
that's
do
very-
today?
Yeah, you got any
Sure of you,
ideas?
Adam? I wasn't expecting you to
Wow.
Like, no, I'm a man. I have all the ideas.
say that. I wasn't expecting you to say that.
All the We're doing this tonight.
No, and I think maybe you can get into a situation too. Maybe for the young women out there or the women out there, I think for a dude, if you're constantly initiating all the dates,
So all the haters.
it can be maybe interpreted as like, oh man, this girl is not as into me as I am into her because it's like I'm
You're already
initiating all the
dating.
dates.
You're already dating, though, right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that happens
No.
as often as you may think.
Mm.
Like I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I'm probably right. When you're dating someone, like there is some, like after a while, like there is some reassurance that comes with it, right?
Yeah.
So like I can say like it's never like 100%, but you get to a point where it's those little like petty, that you spend enough time together, those little like petty thoughts of like, oh, do they like me? They're not like me, kind of fade away.
Sure.
And then it's more like important things that you guys are kind of addressing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess.
Hmm.
I feel like they're important.
Dang.
That makes sense.
What are bad first date options?
Bad first date options?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. I think movie theater is number one on the
Yeah,
list
that's
of
definitely
bad
number
idea.
Yeah, I don't think it really works, honestly.
Yeah, because you can't talk.
Right.
What about transit drive-in though?
Transit driving.
Yeah.
No,
Like
no,
a-
no.
Oh, a movie
like a-
theater.
yeah.
Drive-in. No,
Oh,
drive-in.
no, like a
drive-in
drive-in.
movie
Yeah.
theater.
Drive-in
Ooh.
movie theater?
Like,
Transit drive-in.
I've never
that's
been,
the one
so.
in Buffalo, right?
I think driving movies are stupid, so that's my hot take.
Drive-in movies are cool, but I wouldn't do that as a first
They look
date.
cool on TV.
Yeah, I don't
No
think
chance.
as a
Yeah,
first date
no.
either, but
Yeah.
I feel like a good first date is like a walk in the park.
Yeah,
Is that
ideal.
Cody?
Yeah.
Like go
No,
to
no,
like
it's
a
good.
little like store, get like some drink, like go to like a little
Oh.
cafe before, like, get like
Okay.
a drink or like a little biscuit,
yeah,
a
something
little
like that.
scone
Yeah.
or something, and then you
Yeah.
just
Small stuff.
like, hey, you
Sorry.
know what? Like I don't have a plan. Let's just walk this way. And it's like, oh, okay.
You don't have a plan?
You know how?
No,
it
but
is?
You
that's-
gotta have a plan.
but you say
Just
that.
walking
you
around.
Just say that.
Oh, and play it off like you do.
Right.
Dude,
And
That's a
now,
smart
now,
man
now
right
he's
there.
like,
No,
no.
Wait,
Now
is
she
that
starts
lying, Adam?
thinking. Now she starts thinking.
She's
She's
like,
like,
what are we
oh,
doing?
he's so spontaneous. He just goes with the flow. He's so strong.
Dude, I feel like you
Trust me.
want a plan. People want you to have a plan.
No, you have a plan.
No, but he's saying
100%.
like
But
just.
you don't let her know.
But even saying that you don't have a plan.
Yeah, that
I
could
don't
be.
agree.
Wait,
could
is
be
that
a little
lying? Wait, Adam, is
confusing.
that lying?
I'm a man with plans. You gotta let the people know. You gotta let your girl know that you got a plan.
Yeah, but at this point, you said it's
You
not
could
your
be
girl
like-
yet. It's
That's
first
true.
date.
Yeah,
You're
for
still
sure.
trying to. First
But how
date
do
is
you-
all about impression, dude.
But you
all
want
about impression.
you want an impression that you're a man that plans. You gotta be a man that plans.
You're a prepared
No,
man.
you wanted the impression that you are a man.
True.
Like, period. You're not a boy. You're
Yes,
a man.
not a boy.
So that you
She
walk
needs to know.
out.
She needs to know you can think on the fly.
Exactly,
that's
and that's
true.
way more important. It's like, if he can walk out and like command a room, and like he might not have like all the plans put together, but like he has like a good idea, and it still works out, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, he's working towards something. I am allowed to like follow him. So like you just walk out like, we'll just figure it out as we go.
You're a man
Then
with
you're
plans until you're not.
And then you got like the little GPS in your pocket, like you're making sure everything's good. Oh my mom texted me. What's up? How you doing, girl? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not wrong. Okay, how do you feel about like pet names in a relationship?
All about it.
About what?
What?
You gotta have the pet name.
Wait, what did you say?
The what?
Oh,
Pet
well,
names.
hot take
Like
from Adam Cole.
calling your girl something other than her name, like babe,
Oh,
okay,
I
okay,
love
okay.
that.
Baby.
I love baby.
baby.
Or princess.
Or
Oh
shawty.
dang.
Shawty is crazy.
No,
Don't
shawty
don't
is
say
wild.
Yeah,
that.
that's more of a
Shawty-
friend.
That's
That's,
a-
what
that's
you
a
do with
random-
your
random.
friends.
What up, shawty?
Not for your girlfriend.
Yeah, no.
No.
No, she gonna slap you.
I mean, it depends on the girl.
What about?
I mean,
Shoddy?
no. You can say like, nah, I wouldn't.
No.
What
I
about
mean,
wifey?
If you could play, if you could,
Wifey
if you
for
know how
a
to say it, I mean, you
girlfriend?
probably could.
Yeah.
My little shorty.
No.
What if you are already engaged?
White people don't answer.
Maybe.
Do actually
But
people
you know-
call wifey?
Huh? No.
To the
That's a
wife?
no.
Wifey is wifey.
That's a no.
Yeah, that's for your wife.
That's for your
No,
wife.
no, I'm asking.
That's
Do-
why it's
do
called
people
wifey.
actually.
Oh yeah,
Call
like,
Yeah, people say wifey.
For,
Yeah.
for girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
but that's
Yeah,
the
but
wifey.
People,
That's
people,
crazy.
people date for like.
Years.
7 years.
Yeah,
7 years.
crazy.
So pet name. What about you, Nas? You feel like you telling your girl, baby girl?
Yeah,
They-
but it gotta be
Baby
something cool though.
princess.
Gotta be.
Like what? Like what are
tell
some?
me tell me some cool names.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. What you got,
Cool names
Nas?
you gonna tell your girl?
Yeah.
I mean, depends.
You call her
Depends on who the
Megatron?
girl is. The name changes. Like, if I hold on, let me. How should I put this? I mean, it depends on who the girl is.
What
Like
her
if I got
personality
if I got like a darker skinned girl, right? I'll be like, that's my little chocolate drop. You know what I'm saying? That's my little chocolate drop.
Oh.
Nice.
But
So
it
you get
depend-
creative with it.
Yeah, you get
And
creative.
specific.
Yeah, I think I'm
Huh?
very creative too with names.
I feel like it should. I feel like it should have some meaning. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, more like the generic kind of guy, just babe. I feel like I don't really like baby. It's kind of weird.
Yo, baby. What about honey? I like honey.
Oh, that's a good
Honey,
one.
it sounds like you've been married for like 30
Mm.
years. Yeah.
That's actually a good point. I retract my
What
statement.
about it?
Even still, if I'm 95 years old, I'm not calling her honey.
Really?
Hey, honey, can you come here?
You got it.
Heck
It's-
no.
Dude, you're right.
No.
Honey is earned.
I like
it takes
babe.
years to get to the
No,
point where you
I'm
can
just-
call your.
No, I'm saying
You're
honey
sniffing
is
on
not
this.
something that's gonna
Yo,
leave my lips.
Yes, dude.
No,
What about love?
Because you're not there yet.
No,
What do you
because
mean? Oh, like calling her love.
because
Okay.
I just don't
What
like
about love in
the
general?
name.
What would you say?
I
want
think-
the name.
What about amor, love?
Well, it depends on if you look.
She speaks Spanish.
If you're
You
telling
got a
your
Hispanic
girlfriend you
girl.
love her before you get engaged,
That's
can
so
you call
fair.
her my love or my dear?
Oh, if you're not saying I love you, can you say that's
Can you
Yeah,
call her
that's a
my
good
love?
point.
Hey, love, what are you doing tonight? Something like that.
I'm staying out of this.
I feel like love is cool. I feel like sometimes it's hard. It's like kind of hard to just slip into the conversation.
Yeah. I feel like babe is the easiest.
Yeah.
What about the weird ones? Like, oh, come here, stink butt. Like, what? Like people say that.
Not yet. I feel like that's
Yeah.
valid, but I feel like that's very.
It's supposed
like,
to be like kind of
supposed to be
funny.
playful.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
playful. Yeah.
that's super situational though.
Yeah, it
You know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's super situational.
My sugar honey boo.
Okay. Not that one. Not
That's
that
too
one.
much.
Leave that one there.
Yeah,
Wherever
I
you
think
found
it can get very cheesy very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's the fun of it, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's the point of it.
I like
you
that.
think so? I don't know. Sometimes I hear a couple times like,
If you're like dead serious, then yeah, it's like actually cheesy. But if you're just
Yeah.
saying it to like to be playful or like to embarrass them a
no,
little
I
bit.
think there's people that are actually serious. That's why I create.
No, some
100%.
people are. Yeah, some people are
Yeah.
dead serious.
But as long as you're not one of those people. But you say all that, and then you get in a relationship, and then all of a sudden, it's not so cheesy.
All of a sudden she goes,
anymore.
"Stink butt,
All that
Jason."
opinion gets tossed out the window.
That's-
Stink butt is not your
that's
name.
true.
You're saved that stink butt
Save-
doodle
save
head.
that stink butt.
I don't know about
Stink
that
butt
one.
doodle head. That's his name. in
Wait,
the
if your girl,
phone.
Dude. The name in the phone.
Stick my doodle head.
But that's the thing also, like, I wouldn't tell my girl, like, not to call me.
Anything.
Yeah. Or
Nothing's
like,
off
if,
limits.
Nah, I don't
No,
know
if
about
she called me
that.
something like cringy or cheesy, I wouldn't be like, oh, stop calling me like that.
Oh, like, because you don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
then
mean,
fine.
Wait.
What if
Adam.
it's offensive though? What if it's slightly offensive?
Yeah, if it's
What do
like.
you mean? It's like,
What if she's
you
calling
little
you
bull
names?
guy.
Yeah, I would put a
stinky
stop
breath?
to that real quick.
Stinky breath.
Yeah.
Sticky breath.
Wait, would you
What if
not
it's
like?
mildly offensive?
Would you
Like
not
she
like?
called you Shrek. That's mildly
Yeah,
offensive.
It is mildly.
My little Shrek.
Oh, my little swampy poo.
That's too much. Yeah, I feel like you gotta put a stop to that.
But I mean, yeah. Then I feel like that's one thing.
Yeah, if you like, if you,
Most of them are pretty benign.
right.
Yeah,
I think.
that's true.
Wait, what's a nickname you would give your girlfriend, Adam?
Like a crazy
Like a-
creative one?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like it has to do with the girl. I mean, our shared experiences would help me come up with a nickname. I would be down to get creative, but I can't come up with one right now.
Okay.
But it'd be based off of our shared experiences.
Okay,
I'm
would
sure.
you still call her the nickname if she hates it?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good.
fun.
Okay,
That's
no,
what I
that's
was
good.
saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It give me some ammo, I feel.
Yeah, 100%.
I need all the help I can get.
Let her know you're serious.
Okay, good.
Would I lie if my girl had bad breath? I think it depends. If she has the ability to fix it, then I wouldn't lie. Like if there's some gum in the car or she has the ability to brush her teeth, I'd be like, you should probably brush your teeth, or why don't you pop this gum in? But if there's no way to fix it, then I would lie and be like, no, your breath smells fine.
See, that,
Even though it reeks.
that's something I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't lie
You
about.
can't. You
Really?
cannot lie
Yeah,
about that, Adam.
100%.
You can't not
That's
lie
so
about that.
trivial,
That's
though.
one thing I
No,
do
it's-
not lie about.
You cannot lie about. Dude,
Why?
that's like somebody walking in and they got like a giant booger in their nose, and you just letting them walk around the entire church with that booger in their nose. And
Yeah, you gotta
Empower
tell me.
them to go do something about
Yeah.
it.
When people have something in their teeth and you can see it all the time
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
talking to them, and you're like,
Oh, you gotta say something.
yeah.
But that's different. You can fix the situation. Like for the booger in the nose, get that sucker out. For the thing in the teeth, boom. Bad breath is kind of hard to fix.
Okay, 1, brush your teeth. 2, brush your teeth. 3, hold on, it's coming to me. Brush your teeth.
No.
I'm confused.
But
What is
some-
the problem?
but
What's how you
sometimes-
feel it?
some- Sometimes
I
you're-
think you can only smell it when you're like
Exactly.
this close. though.
Exactly. So the
So
only
that would
person
be only
that
a problem with you, the boyfriend.
exactly you're the only person that would ever really know that the breath is stanky.
You
Not
just
true.
suck it
that's
up.
not true
So
at all.
yeah, I'm with JC. Just suck it up and be like, your breath smells fine. Unless there's ability to fix it. Because dude, who carries around toothpaste and a toothbrush in their car?
Nobody, but you know what people care
Exactly.
about? Gum.
That's true.
Gum and some water, dude, can fix. I've been fixing breath since the freaking
Gum and some water.
1900s.
What if what if there's a situation where you don't have gum? That's what I'm saying. Like,
But that's
the-
okay. I think it's different for you. Like, if I'm camping in the Adirondacks, then okay, I don't care what her breath smells like. We're camping together and we're going up this trail or whatever. Like, obviously, I'm not worried about her breath.
But
Like, if we're like, let's
This
say
fancy
like,
dinner.
not even a fancy dinner. Like, we're out on lunch. It's 4 p.m. Like, whatever. Like, and we're just walking around
He's
after
like,
lunch or
hey, can
whatever.
you shower?
And it's just like, yeah, like,
It's been a week.
yeah,
now.
brush it. You know what I'm saying? Like, brush that thing.
Mm.
Like, you just go do like, I got
It's,
some
it's
gum.
about the delivery too.
Yeah.
So you don't just be like,
Mm.
"Yo, get out my face." Like you don't say it like
Yeah,
that.
be like,
but
yeah,
you just be
yeah.
like,
Unless she's like, you say you tell her that she got bad breath and she's blowing it in your nostrils. Then you tell her to get out your face. I'm not saying that's happened to me.
blowing it.
Hasn't happened.
Wait, Naz, how do
I'm
you
not talking
how,
about from
From
experience.
how do you politely tell your girl that her breath smells bad? Like, what do you say?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Nas. I want to hear you answer
Yeah.
this one, Nas.
So she's talking to me, right? And that
Oh.
thing
God,
just
babe, I love
that
you
thing
so
just
much.
kicking, right? Like it depends on what she. I mean, I guess it doesn't. Let's say we having like a conversation and the drink just kicking. I'll just be like, "Wait, hold on, time out." Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just go brush your teeth real quick. Like, just real quick.
No, she's at your house though. She's
She's
your
at my house?
Yeah, your house. No toothbrush inside.
Oh, I got extra toothbrushes.
You got
He's prepared. He's a
I'm
prepared.
prepared. I'm prepared. Like, huh? Take this.
Because he knows
Take
his
this.
girl. He knows that she
Yeah.
is freaking stinky all the freaking time. He's like, please go
Oh,
brush
you
your
got
teeth.
prepared. He had
No,
one
no.
bad experience. He said no more. He said,
I mean, it's a
"No
couple
more."
ways. It's a few ways you go about it though. You could go like the jokey type of route, but like be serious. But like that's the way to put it politely or whatever. And then you could just be like, yo,
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, whatever her name was, your breath is stinky.
Just like that.
Just like
Yeah.
that.
I think that's good.
Just quick.
Honestly.
Yeah, just real quick.
I'd be like,
And
I
there would
love
have
you
to
so
be.
much.
I'll be like, your breath is stinky. I got some gum. There you go. boom, case closed.
Like, would it be disrespectful if you just like have the pack of gum in your hand, like just
Yeah,
happen to
yeah,
have it in your pocket,
Oh.
and she's talking midway, you're just like,
You just put it over your mouth. You're like, she's talking. You're like,
So you unwrap it and feed it. No, I think that's actually.
No,
Moving her jaw.
if I would notice in like a group setting, I would just like pass her on her hand, be like, dude,
oh,
and she would
just slide it
say
to her.
like, oh,
Oh, he a
okay,
real
and
one.
then
He a
would,
real
like,
one.
She
She would
stops
know.
talking. They were like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good way to do it. If you just, I think, yeah, maybe if you're like,
No, okay, hold on. You're
Just
a
slip
terrible
the gum.
boyfriend if you and her are going to a public setting.
Yeah, I
you
would
didn't
never
tell
do
her
that,
her
though,
her
but-
breath stank before she got there.
especially if you can tell it from afar away.
Dude, that's terrible.
JC's like across the room, throws the gun.
hey, babe.
That is crazy.
Interesting.
How would you do it, Chris?
What?
If your girl has stinky breath, what's the strategy?
Yeah, I feel like I agree. It depends on where we are. The strategy for me, I'll just say like she's talking, and I'll just find like a good opportunity to interrupt and be like, "Yup."
You'd be like,
She'll be like,
yo,
"What?"
stop for a
She'll be
minute.
like, "Yup."
Go to the bathroom.
Yep. Just so you know, your breath stinks. Just like that.
You can keep talking after you do what you
Keep
gotta
talking,
do.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the longest you guys would, like, be in your dating phase for before getting engaged?
What?
Oh, how long do you date until you get engaged?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good question.
We kind of talk about that.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
You weren't here.
Let's go. Wait, today? Or
No.
The first
no,
podcast.
First podcast.
First one.
what'd you guys say?
We kind of agree. Honestly,
It's like
What, 3 months?
No,
No,
that's
like-
too
like-
early.
like a
Like
year.
a year, 2 years
Oh,
max.
Yeah.
Yeah, max. I think it's
Mhm.
important.
Yeah,
Oh.
max.
Max. A
Before
year.
you're like, all right, what are we doing?
I think like
Mhm.
minimum like a year, max 2 years probably,
Oh, whoa.
or
So
three.
what's the
Minimum
3
year?
Well, we also talked that it depends like on the age.
Oh, that's true. If you're in college, you probably
Oh,
want to
that's true.
finish
Yeah.
Mhm.
the degree. You
Dude,
know?
but dating for 3 years is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you're a Christian and can't have sex in order to
That's
honor
how-
God. Huh?
That's the
It just
thing,
gets
though.
tough.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good addition.
Anybody trying to go through that? But it's like,
That's why people get married so young.
Ring
I feel like if you
Just
love
to
her, why
bang
not?
Earlier.
by spring.
I mean,
Dude.
what do you mean?
Oh, JC just
Oh.
said.
What did you say?
Just so they can bang earlier.
Dude, it's too much.
That is
That's
true.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
though.
but you don't have to put it so vulgarly.
I mean, why not? That's what it is.
Yeah, it
That's
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
At least he's not lying.
Dude,
now.
but okay, imagine
Yeah.
imagine a homeschool kid, bro. Like
Like you.
he gets out of high school. He leaves his home for the first time ever. Goes to college, and then there's this, like, pretty little girl. She has goldy, like, nice flocky hair, and she's like, you know what? I think I like you. He's gonna be like, hubba hubba, let's get married. Because that's
Yes.
the only thing I know.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with
Oh.
it. I'm just saying there's probably there's still issues that comes a lot when, like, in those relationships.
I think that's why, in my opinion, I don't think you should date until you're ready to get married. I don't think
I
you should
agree with
date
that.
until you're at a life stage where you can get
You
married.
can,
I
yeah.
guess
For example,
I
I
So
don't
agree
like,
with
so like
that.
we in the first episode we were talking. Someone brought up the point of like if y'all like are too busy or stuff, then like that would be a reason to extend or to like continue to date and wait for marriage. And
Yeah.
in my eyes, it's like if you don't have time to get married, if you don't have enough time to get married, do you have enough time to date?
I 100% agree with
And
that.
so,
So
but
good.
you disagree with that?
Which is why you shouldn't have friends that are girls. Because
Oh,
once you
Okay,
get a
no,
friend that's
okay.
a girl,
No.
once
enough,
you get a
enough of that. Enough
once
of
you get a
that.
friend that's a girl, you're gonna eventually want to start dating her. So if you're in college, not ready to date, why are you having friends that
What
are
if
girls?
I have
Adam, come on now.
five friends
That's
that are girls?
crazy.
So
you,
when I
you
date
just agreed
all
with
of
me,
them-
and now you're disagreeing with me.
No, you went a step too far. That's way
Always happens.
that's
How
way
can
different.
how can you have a friend that's a girl
How
and
do
not
we
be
always
attracted
end
to
up
her?
So
talking
we also
about
talked
this?
about in the
Oh
first
my
episode. He
gosh.
said I cannot call up like a girl to come play basketball with me and my boys
Oh,
because that's like that's like on the fence.
Oh yeah, you missed all of that.
dang,
you weren't
dude, missed
here.
a lot. The hot takes.
Well,
Listen,
I told
if
you.
if
I
you
watched some of it too.
dude, if you start reaching out to a girl in college, right, as just a friend, and you start doing things one-on-one, somebody's gonna catch feelings, and when that happens, like you're gonna start dating, and
That's
then you're
not true. Hold on, you skip so many steps.
Yeah.
You skip so.
It's
many
like, we're
steps.
here,
What else
then
are
we're
you
like
talking
there.
about?
so what are you supposed to do?
There's so much more control than
Adam,
you, that you
again.
have in
Thank
these
you.
situations.
Adam,
Yeah.
again, I think
Compared
that
to
you're implying secretly that all the girls like
No,
are
I don't wanna say that.
falling for you.
No,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's the risk of it happening.
No,
so,
there's
like, I
no
don't-
risk. You
Zero
You
risk.
evaluate your own risk. Like it
Yeah,
depen-
yeah.
if you walk into it and you handle it blindly, like a stupid, like almost like like naive, like oh nothing's gonna happen. Then okay, yeah, then one of
Yeah.
you guys are gonna end up getting hurt. But if you have the maturity to not mean maturity, just like the awareness to address it. Say,
Yeah.
oh hey, okay, like we kind of end up in the same situations a lot of the times. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Like, boom, boom, it's
Yes.
addressed. And the girl,
Right
if
there.
she has feelings, if she doesn't have feelings, you guys are cool. She'll have the conversation with you. And then you establish a baseline, what things that you feel comfortable doing, you don't.
That's
feel
kind of what we were
comfortable
talking about. Like you do some little check-in every now and
Yeah.
then.
doing. Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Abel
yeah,
said.
just
Yeah.
That's
checking
what Abel
out.
said. Yeah, and I don't feel like that's
Shout out Avo.
Shout out Abel. Yeah.
Shout out Avo.
Yeah. Shout out
My
Abel.
boy.
He's on the other side of the border right
Yo,
now.
shout
Yeah,
out
but it's
Toronto.
like-
shout out Toronto too.
But like Adam, if it's 5-on-5 and there's only me and 3 other guys, and I know this girl can hoop, I'm calling her like, "Yo, come hoop. We need a fifth."
Mm.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
literally.
yeah.
But I
The
think he's
clip
talking
that I
about
had in
more
my
like
phone.
love and basketball type.
I know, and I was telling him
him
it's not like love and basketball type thing. Like
he doesn't know.
we play 1-on-1. Yeah, he doesn't.
Okay.
I said it the
Okay.
first time too, but like it's not so like in
I
love.
used context clues to figure it out.
But Love and
Ah,
in the
smart
movie
guy.
Love and
Oh,
Basketball,
thank
like
God.
they were like playing 1-on-1 against each other, and it was like kind of like they knew they liked each other,
Yeah.
and so they're just like like some competitive love. So I'm saying it's not that. It's just simply we're playing basketball. That's it.
Yeah, I think maybe in a group setting, yeah, I think it could be less risky. But I'm just saying, okay, for example, in college, that's why, I mean, in my own life, I didn't have any friends that were girls because I thought there'd just be too big of a risk of me hanging out with somebody of the opposite sex and like getting attracted to them and like wanting to date them. So I just avoided that.
Wait, you sounded like that it was a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing, but you guys would say that I went too far.
Who went too far?
Me.
Who went too far?
What do you
You
mean?
didn't
So I'm
do
saying-
anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. But you're like, oh, why would you do that?
Why would you do what?
What did
Get
you do?
attracted to a girl and like her?
No. Why would I avoid? No.
Oh, my bad. Hold
Yeah,
up.
well, yeah. I mean, like in college, right? When you're still trying to figure a ton of stuff out, there's a lot of, I don't know. You have a lot of maturing to do, in my opinion. You don't know what your job's gonna be. You don't know where you're gonna be living. I think why would you ever enter into any sort of relationship where the outcome could be you're dating somebody?
Okay,
because then you're locked in
what's-
dating somebody
what's-
for multiple years.
But all you
So
do is
what's-
just don't
okay,
date
First
them.
off, whoa. Second off, chill out. Dating can be 2 weeks, dude. Come on, everyone was in 5th grade. Like it doesn't have to be years, multiple years.
I'm talking about
But-
mature.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
it's
I'm
not.
saying, what I'm saying is, what is your? I think it's a good question that we can ask the guys. What is the purpose of a relationship between a man and a woman?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Christian context, is to figure out if you're going to be compatible for lifelong marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think there is
A pre-friendship.
No, there's other benefits of a relation, like just being in a relationship with the opposite sex. You don't think like there's any other benefits than just trying to figure out if you guys are gonna be
Yeah,
married?
I think there's things that follow after that initial reason for why you enter into a relationship. I think the number one reason you enter into a relationship with a woman is so that you can figure out if you're compatible for marriage. And then, of course, there's tons of benefits that follow that. Absolutely. But I would never enter in a relationship with a woman and be like, oh, I just want a girlfriend to talk to, or I
Yeah.
want someone to like go on dates with, without ever having that number one reason in mind.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's different than just a regular friendship. We're talking about actual dating relationships, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in my
But
opinion,
you think even the platonic friendship is like too
Yeah.
far because it could eventually lead
Yeah.
into a dating relationship.
yeah, because it could. I'm not saying it always happens, right?
Mhm.
But I just think it's too much of a risk. Either I think for myself, I would have developed feelings for the girl, or the girl could have developed feelings for me, and then it just creates this sort of awkward situation. I don't think you can continue being friends after somebody confesses feelings, because those feelings are only going to grow. And if you're not ready to get married, I don't think you should be ready to start dating. And so if you're not ready to start dating, why are you developing friendships with someone of the opposite sex?
We agree on the part
Dude,
that you
it's
shouldn't
like,
date.
yeah, I'm
if you're not ready
here,
for
I'm
marriage.
here, I'm here, and then you
I
say the
lost
last
you.
thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Like,
It's like Adam.
come from?
Like your wife, like 10 years from now, like y'all would have
That's
been
when they're
friends.
gonna meet. That's when they're gonna meet.
Y'all would have had been friends before y'all got married or
totally.
started dating.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
So how do you decide if a girl is worthy of your friendship, since it's so like limited?
Right.
edition?
That's a good question. I guess I would. I mean, probably the most ideal thing would be to get to know her and no.
Be friends.
Arranged marriage.
No, I think maybe I think maybe the ideal way that I would prefer is maybe getting set up. So it's like there's one party in the middle that knows both me and the potential girl.
So
that
you don't want to put any work into finding.
No. I'm
You
still
want
gonna
an
put-
arranged
That's what
marriage.
you said. You want somebody to just kind of like
No.
push you forward, and instead
mean-
of you going out there and like finding a girl that you find attractive, finding all the attributes that you like about her, and then pursuing her.
Well, I'm still going to have to find if that girl has attributes that I like. I'm still going to have to pursue her even after that initial pairing. I'm just saying
I think
the initial
still be
pairing.
very hesitant to do it though.
What, getting set up?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he'll be hesitant to get set up because somebody's like, oh, I think you'd be a great match. I think
I
he's
just-
like,
He was like,
okay, now's
I
my
doubt
chance.
it.
Now's my chance.
No, I think that's like one of the easiest ways to start a relationship. I think another easy way is if you're just doing life with that person, like you're seeing that person often, you kind of get to see how they act or like see who they talk to. And I think like getting to know somebody as a friend first and then dating them. But I'm saying like I would never become friends with somebody unless I wanted to eventually date them. Because the reason I'm becoming friends with them is to get to know them so that I can then ask them out on a date.
Okay.
You're not thinking about that with every girl, Adam.
No, he.
I am.
Okay. Yeah,
That's what-
you are.
yeah, that's
Right.
what
That's
he
correct.
is.
That's correct.
That's the whole thing.
That's the conversation we're having. And,
All right.
thanks for coming to the podcast.
This is
No.
Checkin With The Bois.
Checkin' with
Everybody, thank you for listening.
Stop.
Like
Don't
our
say
video.
it. No.
Subscribe. Hit the notification.
Hit the bell.
And just check all of our socials. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
He's been studying.
And send us your questions in the comments.
Oh.
We actually need. We're gonna start doing some. We're gonna start having some live audiences in the future.
Whatever. We should get some. What we should do is we should get girls to come in, and then we should ask them the same questions we talked about for the first weeks.
We'll
and
see
then
if
get
Adam
their
switches up.
opinions. Yeah. We'll have literal evidence to see if Adam remains true. Well, I mean, he will. He'll definitely.
Yeah,
Will.
of course.
But like just see like their responses and like their reasoning and their like mindset.
I
about
think we
these
should
things.
try that. That would be funny.
That would be fun.
Okay, thank you for
3, 2, 1, go.
watching. That's all for this episode.
Lord willing, we'll check in next time.